Hello, my name is HAPruitt, and I am the author of the Anathalian series, and in this video I'm going to do 3 book reviews of classic books. And no matter what book you read, whether it's an independent author, whether it's a classic book, whether it's new but a mainstream author, it's important to do reviews. Less important for authors that have died and their books are so big everyone's going to read them anyway, but still, like, reviews help other readers know if they want to read this book. My reviews of these books may be different than what you've heard before, and they may make you think, oh, well, actually, I think I do want to read that classic, or, well, everyone said it was good, but now I don't know if I do want to read it. So whatever book you want, or whatever book you have read, please review it so other people can know if they want to read these books or not. So, I'm not an audiobook person, and I usually read independent published books because I want to support indie authors because I'm an independent author. But I went through a time where I was pregnant and, like, my husband took the kids and I just was alone, and I would just listen to audiobooks while I, like, hyper cleaned the house because that's what pregnant ladies do. So I did listen to these 3 audiobooks. And they were free, and I'm also really cheap. If you know my videos, you know that. And so these were free because they were classics. So I listened to these. So the first one I listened to was The Secret Garden, and I give it 5 stars. I read this when I was a kid, and I loved it, and I couldn't remember why I loved it, so I was like, I'll listen to it again. So if you've never read it, it's a classic book. It could be read by a child or an adult and be enjoyed. And my summary is, Mary is a spoiled, unwanted child who, after both her parents suddenly die, is shipped to England to live with her uncle. Mary determinedly hates everyone and everything until she hears of a secret garden that has been locked for 10 years. Then her curiosity leads her outside, and a robin, an animal charmer boy, a grumpy gardener, and many secrets begin to fill Mary with the magic of life. So it's a classic. I'm not going to do positives and negatives. I'm just going to tell you things about it that I love. So I love the childlike wonder and the sense of magic in this book. The magic isn't like fantasy magic, dragons and stuff like that. It's magic that, like, shows the way fresh air and friends and animals and happy secrets and a positive perspective and watching new life come can change people from angry, bitter, sickly, and isolated to lively, healthy hearts. So it's just like child magic. It's just like having your eyes opened by a bird who flies around the garden and you believe it can talk to you even though it can't. And just things like that. Just very innocent, beautiful, little magical things about life. The book emphasizes how the simplest facts in life can be amazing, wondrous, life-giving sights to the right person. Like a blooming flower. Green things coming out in spring, just beautiful little things like that, or a boy walking for the first time. I love how it makes magic out of the ordinary. That's a good way to say it. So if you read this as a kid, read it again. I think anyone of most ages could enjoy the beauty, the wonder, and the everyday magic of this book. It's just a really good book to listen to, a good book to read. And I don't know who the narrator was, but they did a really good job with, like, the Scottish or Irish accents, and, like, to a point where sometimes I'm like, what did they say? What did they say? But it was really good narration too. Don't know who the narrator was. It was a classic. It was free on Audible. Go find it. Okay, the second, hey, please, my baby's itching his neck. The second audiobook that I listened to was Anne of Green Gables. Now, this one I have never read before. But I like, all my author friends are like, oh, I love Anne of Green Gables, Anne of Green Gables, Anne of Green Gables. I want to be Anne of Green Gables. So I'm like, it must be a really good book. And so this one that I listened to was narrated by Rachel McAdams. There were tons of these. It's a classic book. I would say it's a middle grade and older book. Anne starts at age 11. And my summary is, Anne is an orphan who accidentally finds herself at Green Gables, the home of siblings Marilla and Matthew Cuthbert. The book narrates their lives together, which is full of growth, mishaps, Anne's imagination, and seasons of life. So 5 stars for the narration. I thought the narrator did great expressing Anne's wild range of emotions. Just really great. She made each character unique and brought so much life into the book. So the story, I wasn't sold on the story. Okay, so I don't know if I loved Anne or if she annoyed the snot out of me, to be quite honest. I related to Marilla the most. I have a non-biological child who talks on the same level as Anne, and while it is charming in a storybook, it is not charming in real life, and it greatly reminded me of that. I have this sweet little redhead who talks way too much, and it just drives you insane. And it's not very funny, and it's not very cute. And so reading in a book, I was just like, please stop. Please stop. Anne talks a lot. The constant talking seesawed between charming and making me cry. Like, literally cry in weariness. And like Marilla, I do a lot of redirecting. And it's also, it's a lot less entertaining when it's real. Like, it's entertaining in the book, but then I thought about real life, and I was like, this isn't funny. This is just like life, and I just want to cry. But the relatability of Marilla and Anne also brought me some comfort. I enjoyed most of the book. Anne's antics were entertaining. The things she got herself into were entertaining. When she started growing up, though, the book kind of lost my interest. The story was less of a plot and more of Anne's life. And I think that's the big thing that, like, I didn't really care for the book, because it wasn't like there was this problem and they go on a quest and they solve it. It was just like her life, and just things happen. And just a series of things happening. And so that kind of book just really isn't engaging for me about someone's life. Like, my life is like that. Like, why would I want to read somebody else's life like that? I don't know. But if you like books like that, you like this book. And a lot of people really love this book. But I'm glad I listened. I am glad I listened, but it won't be my favorite book. I think we're going to have to pause for a second. New position. Hopefully this is better. Okay, so the third audiobook that I listened to while I was pregnant with this crazy kid was A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. I give this one 5 stars. The audiobook was read by Hugh Grant, and he did a great job narrating it. The genre, it's a classic. It's a Christmas story, if that wasn't intuitive. The audience is adult, definitely adult, just because of, like, the reading level. Kids will listen to this and have no idea what's going on. The reading level is adult. If you've never read the book, you should. It is different enough from the movies that it's worth actually reading it. Like, I don't know who hasn't seen at least 4 adaptations of A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, but the book is different. It's different enough that it makes you go, oh, I didn't know that was, like, part of the story. That's cool. The movies definitely match the book in certain ways, but Charles Dickens writes with such wit and depth and amazing attention to detail and humanity that the book is so much better than the movies. The audiobook was less than 3 hours, so it's not a long one. It's a really quick listen, and it's engaging. Charles Dickens can be long-winded. Charles Dickens, like, what was it, A Tale of Two Cities? He talked about a cask of wine breaking for, like, 5 pages or more. Seriously. And that's usually what Charles Dickens is like really slow paced, but, like, it matters. It really does matter. And it was important to do that. But if you're just like, I cannot read about that for 5 pages, then read A Christmas Carol to get, like, your introduction and the best of Charles Dickens, because it was less than 3 hours, and so he can't spend, like, 5 pages on one detail. He probably did. I remember but, like, it's so rich in detail. Okay, so side note, side rant. A lot of people these days are like, don't go into extreme detail. Nobody wants to read about the trees for, like, 3 pages. I want to read about the trees for 5 pages. Okay, sometimes Tolkien is, like, excessive in describing, and then we walked here, and then we walked there, and then we walked here, and then we walked there. But also, when you give detail to things, like, the picture just sticks in the reader's mind so well. And so, like, I think Dickens does it really well, because it also has a lot of symbolism and a lot of meaning. He described the Christmas table at Tiny Tim's house, like, in such depth that you just feel like you're there. And I still vividly remember it and feel the mood and feel what it meant to the family. And that's why he does it, to just engage, just, like, get you so deep into the book. I can't think of the word right now, but it gets you so deep in the book, and that is just beautiful writing and amazing, and I love it. So I love that kind of writing. I don't care if you don't. You can fight me in the comments. Please don't be mean, though. Anyway, so I really enjoyed listening. Even though I knew the general plot, the book made me cry. It had me crying, like, hardcore crying. But I was pregnant, so I cried at everything, so that's not a big deal. But anyway, read the book. It's worth it. Or listen to it. So everyone should read or listen to this book. So those are my 3 book reviews of the classic books that I listened to on audiobooks. I enjoyed them. I enjoyed the listening experience. They were free on Audible. I don't know if that's free for everybody. We have an Audible subscription because my husband is an audiobook person and he does like do the audiobooks while he drives around because he's capable of doing that. Okay, off track. Thank you very much for watching. Please like this video. Please subscribe. Have you read these books? What do you think of these books? It's so much easier to like be critical or like loving about classic books because the authors are dead and we won't hurt their feelings. So tell me, have you read these books? What did you think of them in the comments? Please share this video. Please like it. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. I almost said amen. Goodbye. Bye. If you want to know more about Anna Thalion or HAPruitt, please follow me on Instagram at HAPruitt. You can find me on Amazon as an Amazon author, HAPruitt. Please watch my YouTube channel and all my cool videos on my channel, HAPruitt Anna Thalion. You can find me on the Facebook page, HAPruitt Anna Thalion. You can follow me on Goodreads by the name HAPruitt and the book Anna Thalion, or you can go to my website where so much cool stuff about Anna Thalion is. The website is HAPruitt.com.